Hey guys, this is Tom, your Amazon guy, doing a business breakdown of Liquid IV, specifically as it relates to Liquid IV on the Amazon platform. Business Breakdowns is a series that we're doing that gives insight into how we analyze brands on Amazon, what they're doing well, what they're not doing well. We started this series because we do this all the time for some of the biggest brands in the world, and we figured why not share this information publicly, at least for brands that we don't directly work with, but we think are really interesting and world-class brands. For those of you who don't know, I spent 7 years at Amazon on the emerging accounts team, working on the fastest growing brands on the Amazon platform, responsible for forecasting, sales growth, media strategy, all of that good stuff. So I do feel like I have some pretty good insight into what does work and what doesn't work well on Amazon. So with that being said, we're going to dive into Liquid IV, one of my favorite brands in the world, actually. So quick summary, they were founded in 2012, health and wellness company that produces electrolyte drinks. They were really world class when it came to being first to market, actually, with innovation in this space. Really, they started blowing up when they got into retail stores, specifically Whole Foods and Costco, which happened around 2015, according to reports. And then in 2020, the company was generating over 100 million in annual revenue, growing as fast as 200% year over year, which is explosive growth. So they really took off. They did some influencer marketing, celebrity endorsements. They were acquired by Unilever, which is a huge conglomerate, the likes of Johnson and Johnson, things like that. Unilever actually owns Dove body wash, Vaseline, Magnum condoms. So they're a huge, huge company. They wanted a piece of the action in this space. It's rumored that the acquisition was somewhere in the range of $200 to $300 million. So pretty big brand Liquid IV is. So let's see what they're up to now. So if you look at this top table over here, you'll see Liquid IV is actually second in estimated monthly revenue, and they've actually lost market share in the last 30 days, which is a bit surprising unless you know about LMNT. So they're no longer the best seller on Amazon either. If you look here, they're number 5. They're behind Noon, which is a tablet sort of rehydration product, and then Element occupies the first 2. So they're still doing well. 12 million is not anything to sneeze at, but Element is slowly creeping further and further into the lead. And so what actually happened, right? Well, a lot of their customers were pointing out the same thing. So let's read some of these. I don't like the fake sugar diet aftertaste. Lots of hydration compared to other brands, but far too sweet. The amount of sugar is through the roof. For people looking to limit ultra processed foods, this is not for you. Sugar added. I like to look at 3-star reviews because it really gives sort of non-biased feedback on your product. Generally speaking, if you go through the 1 and 2-star reviews, you're going to get a lot of bad packaging or product didn't arrive on time. It doesn't really give you insight. 3 stars really is where the meat and potatoes are. A lot of customers, as we were doing our analysis, mentioned the same 2 things: too sweet and don't like the sugar. So what happens? So this company called Element was founded and directly addressed a lot of the customer complaints that the Liquid IV was getting. So instead of branding themselves as, again, a direct competitor to Liquid IV, they tweaked the messaging a little bit, and their tagline is more salt, not less, and no sugar. Pretty simple and clear messaging. Their whole philosophy is more salt is better for you, and no sugar is better for you. It's actually a very simple and really compelling message. You'll see sort of one of their presentations includes this picture of a Gatorade bottle, which clearly illustrates it's clearly Gatorade. It's high in sugar, low in electrolytes, right? And for Liquid IV, they're coming in and saying, well, we're going to be high in electrolytes and low in sugar. So pretty direct contrast to one of the leading brands in this space. Last year, or in 2022, the year ending in 2022, they did 78 million in sales, and they launched in 2019. That is absolutely staggering growth. That's over 100% year over year. In this space, that's pretty much unheard of. So what exactly are they doing? Or the better question is, what is Liquid IV not doing? So if you go on their Amazon page, it's really interesting actually. When you search Liquid IV or hydration powder packets, you'll actually get a pretty poor shopping experience. And what I mean by that is, if you type in hydration packets or Liquid IV, you actually get a ton of Liquid IV listings. Now, from an outsider perspective, or the general thought is, well, they're occupying more real estate. People are more likely to click on their product. That is true, but if you actually dive into what's going on in their detail page, they actually don't have any flavor options when you click into a page. So if I click in on this passion fruit listing and I actually decide that I want strawberry or watermelon or lemon lime, I don't know where to find it. And so it's leading to more visibility in the search results, but it's likely leading to lower conversion rate and actually more shopper confusion. One of the popular things that Amazon gurus will tell you is you want to unvariate your products, get more visibility. Well, in this scenario, it actually might be hurting them more than it is helping. And another thing that is not really working in their favor, or they're not leveraging in their favor, is they're actually much cheaper than LMNT. So at $6.43 per ounce, LMNT at versus $4.09 per ounce, that's a huge price difference for Liquid IV in the sense that they're much cheaper. And so how do they, you have to take advantage of that as being the lower priced option, especially on Amazon. And right now, there's probably a lot of shopper confusion going on with Liquid IV because of their listings being unvariated. Another reason why the unvariation aspect is super important is, if you look at the bestseller rankings, you can count 12 Liquid IV products in the top 33. That's a lot, right? And so again, a normal person would say, wow, they've got a ton of coverage. If I'm on this page, you're going to get a lot of traffic. Well, a lot of people don't really search like this on Amazon. They type in Liquid IV or they type in hydration packets, right? And so if you look at what LMNT is actually doing, they're focusing on a few what I call monster product detail pages, right? So they have 1, 2, and 3. And they have the bestseller badge. And so when it comes to this category specifically, there's likely a lot of flavor switching or indecision around what I want to buy. So as a consumer, it's really difficult to figure out which flavor you want. If you have to click around, you're clicking on multiple ads, you're clicking on different SKUs, you don't really know where to find the flavor that you want. It's likely leading to less conversion, more bounces, and it's probably hurting their ability to maintain the badge. Now, if you think about it, when you variate all of these ASINs, they're going to get a lot more reviews. So it's hard to see here, but they have 100,000 reviews on this product, 2,000, 6,000, 36,000, 300, 2,000, whereas LMNT has 15,000 and 19,000. If you're adding up all of these, you're going to get close to 150, 200,000 reviews, which, is basically 4x the size of LMNT's review count. And you're combining that with a price difference of a pretty meaningful price difference of around 50%. So you have a price advantage and you have a review advantage, yet consumers are probably confused because they can't find the flavor that they want. They're bouncing off the page, and you're hurting your ability to really get that bestseller badge, which generally speaking can lead to lifts in about 10 to 30% from what we've seen in brands just holding that badge. So really sort of big decisions that Liquid IV probably would have to revisit if they wanted to win in this marketplace. The other thing that I would fix is, right now, obviously the no sugar is a big deal for consumers, right? And so Liquid IV introduced a sugar-free option, which makes total sense. But they're not really advertising or getting the proper distribution for this brand new product that they just launched. If you look here on LMNT's detail page, there's basically no advertisement of Liquid IV sugar-free products. So if you scroll down, this is taken exactly from the LMNT product detail page. They're actually advertising their non-sugar-free option. So as a consumer, I don't even know where to find the sugar-free option from Liquid IV, which is a big mistake. The other sort of critical error from a branding perspective that they did was it actually doesn't really look different from their current products. The way I like to think about this is think of Coke Zero and Coca-Cola. Coke Zero has that black bottle, right? And then you have Coca-Cola with the big bright red bottle. Clear contrast, clear difference, and you know you're getting a different product. With this Liquid IV sugar-free option, you have a slightly different color scheme, but overall, it's really hard to tell that this is the sugar-free option. So not only are they not getting the proper distribution on this new product launch by targeting sugar-free options like LMNT, they really are not giving the consumer any hints on the fact that this is actually a different product. And then the last thing that's sort of working against their favor, and again, I showed this table earlier, which is LMNT is gaining in market share. Out of all of the big brands in this space, Liquid IV is actually losing market share. Obviously not good, but you have a ton of old and new companies innovating faster, which is effectively just increasing the competition, right? You have Pedialyte powder packets now, which is an old historic brand. People are moving into this space. And then you have Prime Hydration packets, which is obviously Logan Paul's new brand, which is doing really well. They're in the bottled drink space. And so you're going to get a lot more competitors innovating here. You're going to get a lot more people coming into this space. And so Liquid IV really has to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Think about some of these big strategic ideas that they could potentially implement and leverage. But they're a great brand, and they have the potential to turn around, but they probably have to do some big strategic changes on their Amazon business. So that's all we have for Liquid IV. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll be back with another brand in the next week or so, and hope you guys enjoyed the content.